24th of December, 2185. I'm behind on these journals, but we've been so damned busy on the lava planets against the bots on that front. I'll make this last one, or second last, I'm not sure yet, of my time on the planet Mox. At least this will give some more insight to other divers and future generations of divers against what we dealt with from our enemies and what it took to take out those planets. I was responding to another SOS call on the planet. A Helldiver in need of aid. Ah, yes. Something I quite enjoy is being able to jump down to those planets and help other Helldivers out with their missions. I gathered along my R-36 Eruptor, my P-2 Peacemaker, and the G-10 incendiary grenades. Along with that, I was sporting my CE-74 Breaker armor, the SC-30 Trailblazer Scout helmet, and the Pillars of Freedom cape on my back. It was marvelous. I had along with me the M105 Stalwart to call into combat, the LIFT-850 Jump Pack, and the machine gun and rocket sentries to call down on my side to rain fire against those bots. As I stated before, at the time of this mission, we were trying to liberate and take over the planet Mox from those bots, stop their fabrications and all the work that they were doing. The main goal of this mission was to appropriate one of the refineries in the area from the bots, something for use that would come into handy for Super Earth and managed democracy. A sub-objective was activating the CEAF SAM site for use for the gun or drop ships that the bots use against us. I landed on the planet and got right to work. After landing on the planet together and calling down the stratagems of my Stalwart and my Jump Pack, right away I was able to find a bot fabricator base and took it out with swift action and wiped it from the area. Ah, alas, I keep my eye open for bots that try to call in the dropships and take them out as fast as possible, but in that moment I was a little slow on the draw for it. But as soon as that dropship showed up and those bots started to drop, I took my Stalwart out and wiped them out, turning them into scrap and oil to bleed into the land. Moving through the area, I had found our main objective after a short time, taking out one base and moving along, progressing as well as I could, careful with my jump pack. These planets were damned dangerous, with plenty of lava, magma on the ground and running through. Eruptions would come out from the ground every now and then, causing massive damage to us if we were not careful. Even with the right type of armor and fire resistance, a diver still had to be so cautious as not to get singed down to their bones. Thankfully, those stems are damn helpful still, even against burns and other things that we deal with on all fronts. Burns to frost, to the acid and to everything. Ah, thank God for the ministries for the creation of those stems. As I found that area in the refinery that we needed to take for Super Earth and managed democracy, I dropped my machine gun sentry down to help clear bots from the area, and I got to work taking down their fabricators. Ah, it was some glorious work. The turrets, that lady doing such a wonderful job every time to help me out. Ah, such glorious democracy from them. I love those ladies. Love them to death. During my time there, one of my fellow Helldivers had fallen in combat. I called them back in and called down for more reinforcements. Thankfully, one of the divers came through and helped out. As I was going through the base, trying to take out their fabricators and the bots, they had some of the turret towers that were dotting around. 2, I believe. But surprisingly, their normal venting in the back did not seem to be the normal weak spot for them. I must say, usually a few good shots from my Eruptor, or any other heavier or even medium penetrating weapon, seems to clear them out and take them out for good. But I don't know if these weren't heated from firing or what was going on. It was damn surprising, and not something I've personally run into before. I would be curious to my fellow Helldivers if this is something you've seen. Maybe pass this along. I would much greatly appreciate to know what is going on. But thankfully, a fellow Helldiver of mine was able to throw some thermite grenades on it and took it down to scrap. Ha! Such glorious success to see it fall to the ground. We continued to progress through, and eventually I was able to get the terminal up and running. And after we liberated the refinery for Super Earth, we continued to move across the area, taking down different bot bases, fabricators, gathering samples and gear dropped from downed rescue pods or other areas and against the bots, and just doing all we could against the bots for managed democracy and for Super Earth. Now, something I hadn't noticed as well, though, is around the area and on these other planets, the damn bot lava hell planets and such, other divers and myself have noticed what seems to be bot bunker doors around, with no discernible way to open them. Explosives don't seem to work. They don't hold the main controls like bunkers that we take care of, but they just remain fully shut and unable to be broken apart. I must admit my curiosity on these, because if this is something that those damned undemocratic bots are hiding, we should be cracking those doors open and destroying whatever these bots are hiding from us. This reminds me of going into the cave and underground systems of Oshune against the bugs. We should be going into the underground areas and taking them out down below, too. We don't know what they're doing down there, or at least Super Earth, as far as I know, and the ministries haven't said anything. And I keep my ears open. I want to know about this information. I want to keep myself and other divers knowledgeable so that we can take out our enemies and spread our managed democracy so much better and greater. But hopefully one day we will see for ourselves and wipe them off of these planets as we have been doing to the bots, taking down whatever's behind those doors. Such seems important to me, at least. I'll say that much. My 2 cents here. Eventually, I finally was able to finish liberating the refinery for Super Earth. I moved towards the SAM site, but noticed that as I got closer, my fellow Helldiver was already there and seemed to be finishing up the terminal and activating it. Since they were finishing up that area and taking care of what they needed, I decided to proceed to the evacuation site and extraction zone for us. I figured I'd call in our ride back to our super destroyers. I had to fight my way back a little bit just to get to that site and to the extraction zone, but thankfully I got there safe and in one piece against those damned bots. Silly me, I almost forgot to kind of a fun and dangerously smashing part of the mission that I had to run into. Back at the refinery, those grinders and everything that the bots use for the metals or ores or whatever undemocratic bull hockey they are doing. One of those turret blasts from the towers nearly knocked me right inside of it. Blasted me right to the edge. I was able to gather my grip, though, and save myself from falling in and getting crushed to death. Well, that would have been the end of these journals, and quite honestly, it would have been the end of the journal itself, as I had it on my side at the time, and to be honest, I forgot about it. I usually try not to bring it out into the field with me, and just keep the information for when I return to my super destroyer. But alas, I think, note to self, let's make sure we keep this journal safe on the super destroyer. Make sure that other divers will be able to actually hear about it and see the video and hear the recordings that we have. I also must say that these planets are just so damned dangerous with that lava sitting around. I nearly fried myself completely as well on one of the pools of lava and magma. Not fun, but thankfully, like I said before, some of the stims just seem to help so greatly. But, back on track. Eventually, my fellow Helldiver was able to get those missiles up and running for us, and I made it toward our extraction site and was able to call in the Pelican down to pick us up. As I waded though through, some of the bots had dropped in and tried to take our landing site and tried to take us away from being able to extract back to our super destroyers. I made sure to wipe them all out and keep the zone clear for my fellow Helldiver and for the Pelican to land safely. I had called our ride down to the planet side, and thankfully, right when the Pelican was landing, my fellow Helldiver arrived, and we left the planet back to our super destroyers to plan another mission for democracy and for Super Earth. These planets have definitely been an interesting sport to fight on. The environment usually is quite interesting on a lot of planets, dealing with some of the meteor storms or acid rain or blizzards that we might run into, even some of the ion storms and everything else that we've been involved with. It's quite fascinating, just the different topography and weather, if you want to call it that, and just everything that goes along with the planets that we must deal with. It's dangerous, but that's why Super Earth has given us such gear in our armor and helmets to be able to survive these situations. It'll be interesting to see in the future what else we run into. See what other planets we must take over, or even... I've not seen us deal with space combat yet. That would be quite a fascinating endeavor to deal with. But alas, I'll focus on the here and now, what we are doing. But these planets have been definitely a fascinating experience for us. The bots have been trenched in very deep, and have been quite a thorn in our side trying to get them out of the area. But we work forward. We work hard and take care of everything we can. I say, for Super Earth, for managed democracy, and for my fellow Helldivers, even when this order is done and complete, we will continue on. I shall meet you on the front of the bots, of the bugs or the squids, and be at your side as we help spread our managed democracy. God bless Super Earth, and God bless our managed democracy.